listen to me and listen closely. Something is happening right now in 2026 in towns like yours and mine. People who look like officers are walking up to the front doors of senior citizens, knocking 3 times, and saying words that make grown men hand over their life savings. This is not a movie. This is what the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center reported just weeks ago. More than 201,000 Americans aged 60 and older were robbed by scammers in a single year, and the dollar amount they stole reached $7.7 billion. The Federal Trade Commission, in their own 2025 review that was released this past June 2026, put a number on one specific kind of theft: $3.5 billion. That is what Americans lost to imposter scams last year. The fake officer at your door is part of this. He is not a small problem. He is a multi-billion-dollar threat. And he targets you because you are the most polite generation America has ever produced. I want you to understand why polite is dangerous in this conversation. A real officer who comes to your home is trained to knock, announce themselves, show you a badge, and explain the situation calmly and slowly. A fake officer uses that exact same script, but he carries a twist at the end. He will say you owe money today, or a loved one is in jail tonight, or a warrant is about to be served in the next 60 seconds unless you hand over cash, gold, or gift cards. The polite thing to do, the thing your mama taught you to do, is to open the door, smile, and cooperate. That politeness is exactly what the scammer is counting on. Today, I am going to teach you how to be politely protected instead of politely destroyed. And by the end of this script, you are going to know exactly what to say, what to ask, and what door to close. I have spent years pulling apart these cases with the FBI, the Social Security Office of Inspector General, the Federal Trade Commission, and AARP's Fraud Watch Network. What I am about to share is the same playbook investigators use when they go into a courtroom to put these people in prison. The only difference is you do not get the legal privilege of their language. So I am going to give it to you in plain English. I spend my days tracking these codes because the SSA does not have a team dedicated to calling you and telling you how to save money. They only call when they want money back. The only way to stay in the loop before another window of fraud opens up is to be part of this community. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell, because once these scams move out of your neighborhood, your dollars are gone forever, and the bank will not put them back. Let me walk you through the first rule of knocking on doors. It is one that I want you to tattoo on the inside of your brain. Real police knock and announce. The Federal Law Enforcement Training Centers, which is the place where federal officers are trained, teach the knock and announce rule. Under this rule, a real officer has to knock, has to say the word police, has to state the purpose of the visit, and has to give you a reasonable amount of time to open the door before they enter. They have to. It is not a choice. It is the law of the land, written down and tested in courts going back over 100 years. A real officer will not, under any circumstance, demand that you hand them money through the crack of the door. A real officer will not, under any circumstance, ask you to go buy gift cards from Walgreens to clear your name. A real officer will not, under any circumstance, swing a badge at your screen door and threaten you with an arrest that begins in 5 minutes. That is not how the system works. The system is slower than that. The system is paperwork heavy. The system is, frankly, boring. And that boring fact is your shield. Now let me show you the 3 real scenarios the FBI has been tracking in 2025 and into 2026. I am going to walk through them the way a detective walks a jury through evidence, because you need to see them before they show up at your house. Scenario number 1. It is Tuesday morning around 9 a.m. You are having coffee. You hear 3 knocks on the front door. A man is standing on your porch in a dark blue polo shirt, dark pants, shiny black shoes. He has a badge on a chain around his neck. He says he is Detective Morrison with your local sheriff's department. He says your social security number has been used to open a bank account in Texas, and there are 22 counts of fraud attached to your name. He says if you do not act fast, deputies will be at your home by noon to take you into custody. He needs you to verify your identity, your date of birth, and your bank balance. He needs you to go to the ATM at the credit union on the corner right now and withdraw $9,400 in cash. He needs you to bring the cash home in a brown paper bag so a courier he knows can pick it up. He will not let you call your son. He will not let you call your daughter. He says it is a sealed investigation. The FBI reported this exact pattern in their 2025 Internet Crime Complaint Center report. They called it a government impersonation scam, and the number of complaints roughly doubled, yes, doubled, from about 17,300 in 2024 to about 32,500 in 2025. That is one new victim every 15 minutes, and most of them are over the age of 60. The scammer in this scenario is not Detective Morrison. Detective Morrison does not exist. The courier does not exist. The bank account in Texas does not exist. The 22 counts do not exist. The only thing that exists is the cash you hand over, and once it leaves your hands, it is gone. You already feel the weight of that story, so let me make it heavier. Let me show you what $9,400 actually is in the life of a senior on a fixed income. The average Social Security retirement benefit in recent years has hovered between $1,900 and $2,100 per month. Let me be generous and say you collect $1,950. After your Medicare Part B premium, your supplemental insurance, and your dental rider, your take-home is roughly $1,400. Out of that, your food is around $400. Your electric bill is around $130. Your gas is around $60. Your phone is $70. Your prescriptions are $250. Your copays are $80. Your car insurance is $110. Your property tax savings is $200. That is $1,300 of obligations against $1,400 of income, leaving you $100 of breathing room for the entire month. Now imagine the scammer takes $9,400. That is 5 months of your entire household income. That is 23 months of prescription copays. That is 7 months of groceries. That is one entire Christmas, 2 birthdays, and the whole next summer family trip to the lake, wiped out in a single brown paper bag. The scammer knows this math better than you do. That is why he picked you. He picked you because politeness opens the door faster than a crowbar. I spend my days tracking these codes because the FTC and the SSA do not have a team dedicated to calling you when they catch one of these crews. They only call when they need a statement for their files. The only way to stay in the loop before this wave knocks at your door is to be part of this community. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell, because once the door opens, the cash is gone and the bank will tell you the transaction was authorized. Scenario number 2. This is the parent rescue scam, and it is breaking the hearts of grandmothers from coast to coast. The knock comes in the late afternoon. A man says he is Officer Daniels from the county sheriff's office. He says your grandson has been in a car accident. He says your grandson is in the back of a patrol car right now, crying, asking for you. He says the other driver was a pregnant woman, and she is in the hospital. He says they cannot release your grandson until you post a bond of $4,800, and it has to be paid in Target gift cards because the courthouse system will not take cash on weekends. He hands you a phone. On the other end, a young man sobbing says, "Grandma, please, I'm scared, just help me." You hear him. The FBI has run this exact playbook for years, and AARP's Fraud Watch Network logged thousands of calls about it just in 2025. The young man on the phone is not your grandson. He is a hired voice actor whose job is to cry on cue. The officer at your door is not an officer. The bond does not exist. The accident did not happen. But the gift cards do, and once you scan them at the self-checkout and read the 16-digit numbers over the phone, they are resold on a marketplace in another country within the hour. Your $4,800 just became someone else's vacation. Here is the math of reality. Many of you reading or listening worked 40 years to build a $4,800 cushion for the unknown. $4,800 is 48 months of your streaming subscriptions. $4,800 is 80 trips to the pharmacy. $4,800 is one full year of property taxes in many counties. $4,800 is a granddaughter's semester of community college books and fees. The scammer turned one phone call and one fake cry into 8 months of Walmart grocery runs, and you will spend the next 9 months of your life trying to recover money that the bank has already labeled authorized by the account holder. The bank will not refund you. The credit union will not refund you. The gift card company will not refund you. The only refund in the system comes from the scammer slipping up, getting arrested, and having assets that a court can seize. The odds of that are not in your favor. The odds are in the scammer's favor, because he has done this to 30 seniors this week alone. I spend my days tracking these codes because there is no agency whose job it is to call your door before the scammer does. There is no list you can buy that puts a police officer on your porch as a bodyguard. The only way to stay protected before one of these crews reaches your zip code is to be part of this community. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell, because once that knock lands, the clock is already counting down in gift cards. Scenario number 3 is the warrant sweep. You get a call on a Wednesday morning. The caller ID says your local police department. You answer because it is a police department. A man with a serious voice says this is Lieutenant Garcia, badge number 4471, and there is an active federal warrant for your arrest because of a missed court date related to a tax matter from 2019. He says it is critical you resolve it in the next 90 minutes. He asks if you have a lawyer. When you say no, he says he can connect you with one. He connects you to a second man who says he is Attorney Bennett with the Public Defender's Office. Attorney Bennett says he can get the warrant lifted, but you must first prove your identity and your solvency by purchasing $6,200 in Apple gift cards from the Apple Store in your local mall. He says once the gift cards are verified, the warrant will be recalled within the hour. This is the exact pattern the Federal Trade Commission published a public warning about in their consumer alert from June 2025. Scammers are impersonating local law enforcement. They documented that these criminals are spoofing caller ID. So the screen on your phone shows the real number of your local police department. They documented that the criminals pretend there is a federal warrant, then demand immediate payment to avoid arrest. Spoofing, by the way, is when a scammer fakes the number on your caller ID. The FCC has a whole consumer guide on it, and they will tell you that you cannot trust your caller ID, period. The number you see is not the number calling. That is the basic rule of phone calls in 2026 that the scammer is praying you do not know. So what is the hidden math of this one? $6,200. That is the new Bing Sheng you have been saving for, the one that is finally on sale at Home Depot. $6,200 is your entire eyeglasses and hearing aid budget for the year. $6,200 is 10 months of copays for your blood pressure medicine. $6,200 is what you and your husband saved for the grandkids' Christmas last December, the year you thought was your last big one. The scammer turned a single spoofed phone call into the entire nest egg you were sitting on to get through 2026. And here's the worst part. The worst part is not even the money. The worst part is the next 30 days of your life. You will not sleep. You will not eat. You will not answer the doorbell without flinching. You will spend every spare minute calling the real police department trying to figure out if you were scammed, and the polite officer on the other end will tell you the truth, which will hurt more than the lie did. The truth is that you gave the money away voluntarily, and there is nothing the police can do about it now. That is the moment the scammer's plan was always heading toward, the moment they strip your peace along with your savings. The FTC named this theft pattern in their Protecting Older Consumers 2024-2025 report, and they reported returning more than $311 million to consumers of all ages in fiscal year 2025. $311 million is what they got back. The amount they could not get back, looking just at seniors, is north of $7 billion, per the FBI IC 3/2025 Elder Fraud Report. I spend my days tracking these codes because the FTC, the SSA, and the FBI cannot sit on your porch with you. They cannot answer your doorbell. The only way to stay one step ahead before the next knock comes is to be part of this community. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell, because once you learn what I am about to tell you, you become the alarm that your neighbors do not have. Now, here is the good news. The good news is that there is a layered defense, and it is simple, free, and legal. None of it requires a lawyer. None of it costs money, and most of it is something you already know how to do. The first layer is the door itself. The door is your friend. When you hear a knock from a stranger claiming to be law enforcement, you do not have to open the door. You can speak through the closed door. You can ask questions. You can ask for the officer's name, the agency, the badge number, the case number, the reason for the visit. A real officer will not be offended by these questions because they have answered them hundreds of times. A fake officer will start to push back, raise his voice, push for immediate action, and try to make you feel ashamed of asking. That is your signal. That is the moment the polite thing to do is exactly the wrong thing to do. The polite thing to do in 2026 is to be a polite customer of truth. You ask, you verify, and you decide after verification. The second layer is the phone call back to the agency. Take the badge number and the name the visitor gave you. Hang up the door chain. Lock the door. Pick up your phone. Do not call the number on the badge. Do not call the number on the card the officer handed you. Look up the non-emergency number of your local police department yourself, using the phone book or a search engine, and call that. When you reach the real dispatcher, ask if Officer Morrison or Detective Garcia is on duty and what his badge number is. The real dispatcher will tell you the truth in under 60 seconds. If the visitor was real, the dispatcher will confirm it and explain why they are there. If the visitor was fake, the dispatcher will tell you there is no such officer on the rolls and you should call 911 to report an impersonation. Either way, you just turned a 6-minute scam into a 60-second proof of truth. The third layer is the federal hotline. AARP operates the Fraud Watch Network helpline at 1-877-908-3360. The number is staffed by trained volunteers who will sit with you on the phone, walk through what just happened, and tell you exactly what to do next. The helpline is free. The helpline is not a sales call. You will not be pitched a product. You will be told how to file a report with the FTC at reportfraud.ftc.gov, how to file a report with the FBI at ic3.gov, and how to file a report with the SSA Office of Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov. The SSAOIG itself has stated clearly, publicly, and repeatedly that the Social Security Administration will never call to threaten you with arrest, will never ask you to pay a debt with a gift card, with a wire transfer, with cryptocurrency, or by mailing cash. Those are the 4 payment methods the SSA has warned about, because those are the 4 payment methods that criminals request. Anything that pushes you toward a gift card, a wire transfer, a Bitcoin ATM, or a Western Union is, by definition, a theft in real time. You do not need to know the law. You just need to know that one rule. The fourth layer is your family tree. Pick one person in your family today, right now, before you click away from this video. Pick the daughter, the son, the niece, the nephew, the neighbor who checks the mail for you. Give that person permission to be the gatekeeper of any stranger asking for money on your behalf. The agreement is simple. No gift cards, no wire transfers, no cryptocurrency, no cash courier, no answer at the door to a stranger claiming to be law enforcement without first calling that family member. If the family member is on speed dial and you can reach them in 30 seconds, the scammer loses every time because the scammer needs you alone, scared, and fast. A 30-second call to a loved one is 30 seconds longer than the scammer's window allows. The fifth layer is the documentation habit. Start a small notebook. Every time someone official contacts you by phone, text, mail, or in person, write down the name, the badge number, the agency, the time, and what they wanted. When a real officer shows up 6 months from now about a real matter, you will have a paper trail that protects both you and them. When a fake officer shows up, your notebook becomes the evidence you hand to the FTC at reportfraud.ftc.gov and to the FBI at ic3.gov. Reports matter. The FBI's 2025 IC3 annual report is built entirely from the reports you file. Without your report, the FBI cannot warn the next senior on the next porch. I spend my days tracking these codes because the protections I just laid out are only useful if you remember them when the doorbell rings. The only way to lock them into your muscles before the knock comes is to be part of this community. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell, because once the knocks turn into knockouts, the bank will not be the one holding your hand. Let me close this loop with the action plan. It is 5 steps in order. Step 1, answer the door. Step 2, ask for the badge number, the officer's name, the agency name, and the case number. Step 3, close the door. Step 4, call your local non-emergency line using the number you looked up yourself, not the number on the badge or the card. Step 5, if the dispatcher cannot verify the officer, hang up, call 911 to report the impersonation at your home, then call AARP at 1-877-908-3360 to report what just happened so the Fraud Watch Network can warn your neighbors. If the dispatcher confirms the officer, open the door, cooperate, and proceed normally. There is a final note I want to leave you with. The bad guys want you to believe 3 lies. Lie number 1, they are in a hurry, so you must be in a hurry. The truth is that no real legal matter in your life will be decided in the next 3 minutes. Lie number 2, they have the power to put you in jail today unless you pay. The truth is that real law enforcement does not arrest people who pay cash through a screen door, ever. Lie number 3, they are protecting your money by moving it. The truth is that no real officer, banker, or government agency will ever tell you to safeguard your money by handing it to a stranger, mailing it to a P.O. box, or buying gift cards at a drugstore. The FTC has put this exact line in their public warnings. Anytime you hear the words gift card, wire transfer, cryptocurrency, or cash pickup in the same sentence as the words warrant, arrest, tax debt, or missed court date, that is the sound of a thief, not a policeman. That is the sound of a Social Security imposter, not the real Social Security Administration. That is the sound of the IRS through a scammer's mouth, not through the real IRS mail. You are not powerless in this. You are not alone in this. The SSAOIG, the FTC, the FBI, and AARP have built the wall. They built the wall with consumer alerts, with reporting portals, with trained volunteers on the phone, with investigations, with arrests. The only job they cannot do for you is the job of answering your door. That is the job I am leaving with you today. Answer it well. Answer it slowly. Answer it with questions. Answer it with a closed door until the questions are answered. And when you walk away from the encounter with your money still in your bank account, that is the moment you have won a fight the scammer thought he had already finished.